Joe, what happened on the coin toss?
Uindy called it, lost. Csu-Pueblo won the toss and deferred, as John Riston always does, and they will be kicking off from right to left with the wind.
It's a brisk day, but not bad, all things considered, the way it was earlier in the week and all around Colorado. I'm sure everybody watching the feed today back in Indianapolis, we had some miserable weather. We don't have to tell you about miserable weather when you're back there in the Midwest, but Pueblo's kind of in the banana belt of Colorado. We didn't get much. Here's the kickoff. Sails to the 5-yard line. We get a chance for a return across the 10, 15, 20, up across the 25 to about the 29, maybe the 30-yard line. So a good return to start the ball game. So Uindy will be in good shape as we get this ball game underway.
They're going to go hurry up.
Out across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Thunderwolves were bringing a safety blitz that time, but they didn't get there in time, and Barthel delivered a strike. So it's 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line for the Greyhounds.
And Joe Jones, the safety, was so far back. It was an 11-yard game before anybody come up to the ball.
Horn will wide to the left this time. Trips to the right. Ball's on the left hash mark. Barthel from the gun. Estica showing blitz off the edge. Here he comes. Try to set up the middle screen. It's caught inside the 35, and they've got the first down to the 31-yard line. Just dropped it off to the back that time. And Walker gets it to the 31-yard line. It's another 1st and 10 for the Greyhounds.
Perfect call in that situation.
So 3rd down and 9 from the 30-yard line for Uindy. 9:30 to go here, first quarter, no score. Trips to the left, single wide out right. That's Horn. That's the favorite target. Barthel has Walker on his right hip. From the gun, about 5 yards deep in the backfield, takes the snap, straight drop back. Here comes pressure up the middle. Thunderwolves got him, and he trips up and he's down at the 34-yard line. They hit him back at the 37. Barthel able to stumble forward.
Ben Estica on the sack.
Put up in an I formation, ball on the left hash mark. So they got the fullback O'Malley in on this set. Only one wide out to the right. They got their 3 tight ends. Letlow goes in motion to the right side. They fake the draw play. Thompson rolls to his right. Looks up the sideline. Pass is caught at the 32-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Thunderwolves. A little simple out pattern to Duncan. Up on the right side. Thompson very patient on that play. Thunderwolves now bring Cooper into the ball game, the extra wide receiver. Bernard McDonald, the lone back on this set. They give it to him off the left side. Has a little bit of a hole across the 35. Breaks a tackle across the 40. Up the sideline and out of bounds at the 44-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Pack. Very patient run that time by Bernard, but the tackle's just kind of melting off him that time, Joe.
Something he's grown into as a running back, Jim, is breaking tackles. He's got exceptional speed, but he actually broke tackles there all the way to the 44-yard line.
Thunderbolts bring Deshaun Williams in the ball game. He splits wide to the right. Boyd in motion to the right side, now resets in the right slot. They run the draw play to Cam, trying to get out. Or this is a Cam off the left side across the 50, 45, 40. He's got the 1st and 10. Cameron McDonald down to the 40-yard line, and now Cooper can forget about that drop pass, Joe. The drive stays alive.
16 yards. He needs 57 coming in to break the 2,000-yard barrier for the second year in a row.
Boyd in motion to the right side. Now he'll reset up on the line of scrimmage. Now they bring Forsgren in motion, who's into the ball game. He goes wide to the right. I formation. And they fake it to Cam. AJ rolls right, sets, fires right, and the ball's caught for the 1st down inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line. And a little extracurricular after the play, a little shot to the head afterwards, but the officials decide to ignore it there as Cooper got hit in the head late.
And he didn't retaliate.
Ball just inside the right hash mark. It'll be a 42-yard attempt. Jake Ludwig back to snap on the short kicks now this game. Ball's down, kick is on the way, plenty of leg, and it is good. 4:11 to go in the, make it 4:10 as another second goes off the clock. 4:10 to go here in the first quarter. Thunderwolves strike first. They lead it 3-0 on Fox Sports Pueblo. Fans making some noise here, coming to their feet. Barthel takes the snap, looks over the middle, fires right, ball caught by Horn. He's right at the sticks, and he's got the 1st down. Well, they needed 3, and Horn went down 4 yards and turned in, and Barthel nailed him with a pass. 1st and 10 Greyhounds.
You know, the interior of the Indy line moved on that play.
On the left side.
And I thought that I saw an official reach for his flag, but he didn't pull it. I guess it's just one of those let him play days. which if you're going to do that the entire game. This crew's out of the Lone Star Conference.
Double wide out left, single wide out right. Barthel from the gun again. Takes the snap, straight drop back, looks over the middle, now comes back right. Pascal's got it. He's out to mid. Oh, a big-time collision. But tell you what, this Pascal, 230-pound freshman running back. And that was quite a collision there with Targeted. The 49-yard line of the Thunderwolves. Uindy right back to the line of scrimmage. They're in Thunderwolves territory at the 49-yard line. Ball right in the middle of the field. Barthel takes the snap. He looks left. Nothing there. Now comes back right. Over the middle. Almost picked off. It would have been a pick six for the Thunderwolves.
Joe Jones had 60 yards of nothing but green in front of him.
Boy, you look at those little plays during the ball game. John Riston always says there's about 6 to 8 in a ball game that could change things, and that might be one of them right there. That would have been a big-time game changer if he would have picked that one off. So Thunderwolves with the ball, 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Thompson up under center. They're going to hand it to Cam right to the middle. Big hole across the 25, 30, out to about the 33-yard line. Good thing for Uindy. They closed it down in the hurry. The safety came over and shut things down. Blake Luker. Otherwise, that was going to be one of those Cam specials.
And he gets up limping. Jim, that's not what you want to see, is him limping off the field with his helmet off.
Yep, he comes over. That right ankle's been bothering him. Let's go down to the field. And Paul Browning.
Yeah, Jim, I've got update on Cameron McDonald. He just got grabbed up a little bit and rolled up the same ankle that he's been dealing with. He's been having some ankle issues this year. And just guys holding on, and he's just doing a couple walk up and down the field, and he should be back in the game, though.
All right, thanks, Paul. So 1st and 10 for the Greyhounds from the 28-yard line. Barthel from the gun. So 3 receivers left. They set up the bubble screen to Horn. Gets it up the field across the 30 to the 35-yard line. Now we got a little extracurricular here on the left side after the block. Fans saw it. I think everybody in the house saw it. Garrett Willis gave a little extra shove to the cornerback for the Thunderwolves, Brian Jones, when he had him on the ground, and was right in his face mask talking to him as well. Thunderwolves lead the ball game 3-0 here with 11:05 to go in the first half. This time Horn winds up wide to the left. Williams in press coverage right up on him, right on the line of scrimmage. Double wide out to the right. Barthel from the gun. Now Williams backs off him a little bit. Barthel straight drop back. Here comes pressure off the edge. Fires over. Intercepted. Payer's got it. Inside the 35, 30, 25. Cuts back inside. Look out from behind, Brandon. Breaks one tackle and then is hauled down at the 23-yard line. Well, they love this kid, Brandon Payer, the redshirt freshman, and Joe, he's jumped the route there in the middle. And again, Barthel, that's the times he's had trouble this game when he's come back late over the middle.
Brandon Payer has stepped into the starting lineup when Joe Rosenbrock went down, and he's also had to play when Kevin Cuff was a little bit dinged because he's an inside backer, and they don't have many inside linebackers right now. So what a great for the freshman, Brandon Payer.
So the Thunderwolves now back in business at the 23-yard line of Uindy. They only turned it over 5 times all year. They have 1 here in the first half. Thompson up under center. Bernard alone back. Now they shift all 3 tight ends to the right side of the formation. Long count by A.J. Takes the snap. Going to hand it off the right side. Cut back inside Bernard. Spins. He's inside the 15. Down to the 10-yard line. Good hard run there by Bernard McDonald.
You're right. It's kind of hard.
The McDonald brothers, folks.
I always call it the law firm of McDonald and McDonald.
Duncan, the lone receiver, wide to the right here. 3 tight ends on the right side of the formation. Now they all shift en masse over to the left side. Thompson under center. Hands it left side to Bernard. Inside the 10. Inside the 5 to the pylon. Touchdown! Thunderwolves! They got a little mismatch over on that left side, Joe, with all 3 tight ends shifting over there. And Bernard McDonald, he's no stranger to the end zone this year.
How's that for your backup? 1,000-yard rusher, 14 touchdowns on the year. Tell you what, that's a great run, and that's the offensive line doing its job, finally feeling it a little bit. Great run by Bernard McDonald.
So they get the turnover and they take full advantage of it. Extra point try. Ball's down, kick is up, and it is good. 9:49 to go here in the first half. Thunderwolves strike. They lead it 10-0 on Fox Sports Pueblo. Let's go ahead and go down to the field to Paul Browning and get an update on Cameron McDonald.
Yeah, Jim. Cameron, he's been dealing with the ankle issues after doing some jogs and walking up and down the sideline. They set him inside. He's in the locker room right now. Don't know exactly what that means. He could be getting extra tape job, and they could be doing a further analysis on his ankle, but Cam is in the locker room.
All right, thanks, Paul. Play action. They look left over the middle. Ball's deflected and almost intercepted. Ball went off the intended receiver's hand. Brian Jones laid out, tried to get underneath it, but the ball bounced. It was going to be a tough catch there when you're hitting that turf.
Malik Higgins is going to remember that. Joe Jones is trying to shake that off. He hit him so hard.
3rd and 10 now. This is unfamiliar territory for Uindy on this year. They're used to 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 1. That's how they operate. Double wide out to each side. Thunderwolves rush 4. They come off the edge. They flush him. Trying to roll to his right. Looks up the field, and it's caught right at the sticks for the first down, and it's the man, Reese Horn. Or no, that's not Horn. That's, beg your pardon. Ball caught up the field. That's Garrett Willis for the first down at the 47-yard line. Well, good move that time by Barthel, buying some time.
Yeah, you can't ask the defensive backs to cover for that long. The defensive line almost got him. He spun around and he bought himself an extra couple of seconds.
And Schickel gets into it. End-over-end job. And Duncan handles it at the 60. Nice cut across the 20, up the sideline. 25 cuts back inside. Here we go. Looking for a block. 25, 30. Oh, and he's tripped up as he comes across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
Karen Duncan a little bit quiet today, but that could have been dangerous.
It was close. He breaks that tackle, or avoids that tackle. I think it would have been a touchdown. That was the saving tackle. Definitely right there.
He is a kind of a free spirit, A.J. Thompson. He's fun to be around. He's infectious when it's with his smile and his enthusiasm.
1st and 10, Thunderwolves at the 44-yard line. A.J. up under center this time. Bernard DeLome back, single wide out to each side. They fake the draw play. A.J. now back in the pocket. He's going for it all. He's got Cooper down the right sideline. Adjusts, and it's interference as he's just tackled. Probably a pretty good play there by Corey Rogan, because if he doesn't tackle him, it's going to be a huge gain. Now it'll just be a 15-yard penalty. But Cooper had him beat. Pass a little bit underthrown, and that's why Cooper adjusted on the ball, and the cornerback just tackled him, Corey Rogan. 2nd and 6, balls at the 37-yard line. Double wide out to the right side this time by the Thunderwolves. Tight ends on the right side of the formation. And they're going to run it to the right side. Bernard cuts back in a hurry. Now gets it back outside. Breaks a tackle. Inside to 35. Inside to 30. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! Bernard McDonald breaking tackles at the line of scrimmage and then putting it into 5th gear in a hurry. What a luxury, Joe, to have Brother Bernard.
That one was for you, big brother. You may be in the locker room, but you hear that cheer? That's for you. 38 yards.
And O'Donnell in to try the kick. Radaball the holder. Again, Ludwig back this week. The long snapper on these short kicks. Extra point kick is up, and it is good. 5:34 to go in the first half. Thunder will stretch it out. They lead it 17-0 on Fox Sports Pueblo. You know, I see one of the first guys to greet him out there. We kind of wondered about Dustin Walton. Has got to be one of the best teammates on this Thunderwolf ball club. He came in here to be the starting quarterback, make no bones about it. But this guy, he's all over the place. He's in all the meetings where the players, he greets the kicker coming off the field. He's out there talking to the defense. I love the guy.
He's just a little frustrated that he's not the guy.
But, you know, he doesn't let it bother the other parts of his game. Here's a pass over the middle, caught by Horn. He's out across the 35 to the 38-yard line. Boy, you got to have a lot of stones, as they say, Joe, to come across the middle like that. And Horn, he's a big dude. But you know you're going to get lit up.
I just don't understand. You know that he is the target. I think if you take him out of the game, you take their game out.
Horn this time in the slot. That kind of prevents you getting a little jam on him. Tarkinen lines up across him, now backs into the secondary a little bit. Now they cheat over on Horn. Trips to the left this time. Barthel straight drop back, looks left, fires it up the sideline. That ball should be picked, and it is. Tarkinen has it. Across the 40, 45, 50, up the sideline. 40, 35, 30. Cuts back inside. And he's hauled down at the 26-yard line. Just way too much air under that one. They thought they had something going up the sideline, but Tarkinen read it right from the start. He almost baited him into throwing it there.
He did. That's why you're a safety. You just play that center field. Can't wait to see that one on the replay, because that just floated. And I'll tell you, it was a great interception, but it was a fantastic return.
Well, these Thunderwolves, they love doing it. Every time they pick one in practice, they try to take it to the house. That's what they're schooled to do. Donnell Liamidi, great talk with him before the ball game, as we do each and every game. He's great to talk to. All infectious.
Such a calming influence.
Play action. Thompson looks left, fires left, looking for Duncan, and he's got it. Is he inbounds? Yes! They signal yes, feet inbounds at the 8-yard line. Great grab, Kieran Duncan. He got that 1 foot, the little toe drag there, Joe. You only need one in college football.
And he's so acrobatic to go with that speed. He is getting some looks at the next level.
Bernard McDonald, the lone back. Now they shift all three tight ends to the right side of the formation. Ball is on the left hash mark. And they run the draw left side to Bernard. Now tries to cut it outside. Inside the 5. Hauled down right at the goal line. Touchdown! Bernard McDonald stretching it out that time. It was just waiting on the line judge over there to call it, and he did throw the hands in the air. Touchdown, Thunderwolves.
You know that Bernard McDonald, Jim? He's pretty good.
Pretty darn good is right. As we mentioned, no stranger to the end zone. That's touchdown number 15 on the year. O'Donnell in to try the extra point. Ball's down, kick is up, and it is good. 2:50 to go in the first half. Thunderwolves take advantage of another turnover. They lead it 24-0 on Fox Sports Pueblo. Well, Joe, Uindy, they turned it over 5 times all year. Today, number 2.
That's 2.
And 2 quick scores for the Thunderwolves.
That's the key. Not just that they've turned the ball over, that Csu-Pueblo has turned those into points.
And remember, earlier in the game, Joe Jones had one that he dropped. We were wondering if that was going to come back to haunt him. Well, so much for that haunting, Joe.
Yeah, there is no haunting.
Paul, what do you got for us there, buddy?
Yeah, so Cam went into the locker room. They did a retaping of that ankle, and now it looks like he might not be going back into the game. They are up 24. It might be smarter to just keep him out of the game, but he is dealing with the same high ankle sprain that he's been dealing with all season, and it'd be pretty smart to keep him out, because that's one of the injuries you're going to feel all through the playoffs. But back to you, Jim.
All right, thanks, Paul. Back nose of the football resting on the 35, so that's what we'll call it. 1st and 10 for the Greyhounds. Clock rolls. We're down to 1:40. Greyhounds don't seem to be any big rush right now. Trips to the left. Thunderwolves show blitz up the middle. Payer coming up on the line of scrimmage. Now Estica, he's antsy on the right side. And they hand it off to the right side, and it breaks into the clear, and this is going to be a touchdown. Up the right side, Andrew Walker, 15-10-5, touchdown. Well, the Thunderwolves were pressing the line of scrimmage there, Joe, showing blitz, and the Greyhounds caught him in the right defense for that call.
He had to break 1 tackle, and he had 65 yards of green.
So that quiets the crowd here. A little hush over the building. And that means extra point try upcoming.
But, you know, he earned it. I just talked about him getting that last yard. He ran really hard to get that yard, to keep that drive alive.
Ball down, kick is up, and it is good. 1:22 to go in the first half. Well, Uindy, they have a pulse. They come back with a quick touchdown. It's 24-7. Thunderwolves on top. Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo. Well, Joe, I don't know if he was the true guilty party on the play, but John Rist had a little talk with LaRon Tarkinen there, and he's the safety. I don't know if he got caught out of position there or what, but it was such a quick hitter, and the Thunderwolves were pressing the line of scrimmage. You can see everybody kind of antsy, wanting to blitz on the play. I think it just caught him in a quick hitter.
Well, and Hunter Hughes is down there talking to his defense, says, that's on me. I had us in the wrong defense. I can read his lips. He said, let it go. Wipe it away.
All right, we've got down on the sideline Paul Browning. Let's go ahead and bring him in for his thoughts on the first half. Paul, first of all, you're familiar with the Thunderwolves having a big lead a year ago against Ohio Dominican. You can't afford to relax right now, can you?
No, you can. These are teams, once you get in the playoffs, these are teams that can really play, really ball. And I know Morgan Fox said it earlier this week, none of these teams are going to roll over and die. So you're going to want to continue to put your foot on the pedal. And I talked to Coach Riston earlier, and he talked about being able to win the turnover battle. That's something they've been able to do really well this first half. And going over and doing that again in the second half would be really key.
Well, what were your general thoughts of the first half? What really struck you as the way the ball game went?
I think it was a great way for Bernard McDonald to come in and step up after Cam went out. The defense has been able to play great. We've only been able to see a little bit from the Greyhound offense passing-wise because that secondary has really been able to step up, and you're getting a great pass rush coming from that D-line. So as long as Pueblo continues to do that and continues to really put their foot on the gas, it should be all Pueblo.
All right, Paul, thanks a lot. Paul Browning down on the field. Former All-American for the Thunderwolves, but we say former. You're always a Thunderwolf, right, Joe?
And if I'm him, I'm always an All-American.
Exactly right.
If I got that on my resume, I'll have a tattoo say All-American on. Jim, it was interesting. Indy comes in they're one of the best teams in the nation in turnovers and penalties. They had penalties and turnovers in the first half. Csu-Pueblo, no turnovers, no penalties.
3rd and 7 now for Uindy. They're going to go trips to the left this time. Horn is going to split to the right. Ball is on the right hash mark. Estica showing blitz off the edge here. Here he comes. Barthel now looks right. They force him out and they sack him. Morgan Fox, as he shoved him over to the left, and then there was Estica, and it more or less gave Barthel nowhere to go. The sack will be credited, I would think, to Fox all the way. They might give half a sack to Estica, but Estica was there to make sure Fox got him, is the way I look at it, Joe.
Just give it to Morgan Fox.
Exactly.
And if that's a full sack, he's now CSU-Pueblo's all-time leading sack.
Well, then we'll just do that then.
Yeah, he just passed Darius Allen. We haven't called Derek Bryant's name very much this game, and he is an outstanding linebacker for Uindy. I'm surprised he hasn't been in on more plays.
Well, remember we talked to Paul Browning right there at halftime and talked about Thunderwolves need to put their foot down. Right here's where you got to do it. You got it on the plus side of the 50. You need to take this down and score. Reestablish the momentum of this ball game. Thompson under center runs the draw play. Here's Bernard up the middle. That's Duzit. 40, 35, 30, 25. Down to about the 21-yard line. That Duzit, Joe, that does it is actually what I meant to say. That'll get your momentum back in a hurry.
I just thought that was some slang that I wasn't up on.
Is it Duzit?
23 yards for Bernard McDonald right there, down to the 22. He's over 100. He's got 3 touchdowns.
Now the Thunderwolves will probably go for it here, I think, on 4th and a yard.
I don't know where I'm at on this. I can't decide whether I like this call or not. Your defense is playing great, and you got them back inside the 15 if you don't get it. But 3 points on the board, that 20-point cushion.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than a yard, too. About a yard and a half they need here, but they're going to go to their power formation. They go to the fullback, O'Malley. Bernard back in the ball game here on 4th and a yard. They run it to Bernard up the middle. Gets through there. He's hit. I don't think he got there.
He didn't. He's short.
And they're going to stop him at the 13-yard line. The ball's going to go over on downs. That's where you miss Cameron McDonald right there. He's able to get that little extra push and get forward. Bernard doesn't have that extra power.
And you give him life.
So the Thunderwolves decide not to take the field goal. We say the sure 3, but nothing's ever sure. But you got to feel like we're going to get it. Probably 80% chance.
Greg O'Donnell's the school's all-time leading scorer. You think he's going to be good from 30 yards out.
Ball's at the 13-yard line for the Greyhounds. Double wide out left, single wide out right. Play action. Barthel looks over the middle, passes tall, but his receiver is tall, and that's one Reese Horn. Well, I thought that ball had way too much air under it, but you forget that Reese Horn, 6'3" plus, he is just playing good, Joe. He can go get the ball.
You come up a yard short, and then you give up a 15-yard pass play to number 18, who everybody knows is going to get the football.
Ball out to the 28-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Greyhounds. Barthel takes the snap. He's going to roll the pocket right now. Sets on the right side. Looks, fires right. Ball caught up across the 35. close to the first down. Probably going to be, they're going to give him a nice spot all the way out to the 39-yard line. It's a 1st and 10.
So now it's 15 yards and 11 yards on back-to-back plays.
Thunderwolves fake the draw. Thompson looks up the right side. Ball caught. Duncan out across the 35, up close to the 40-yard line. One thing you love about Kieran Duncan, Joe, he loves to catch that ball in his hands. He doesn't let the ball get in on his gut or into his shoulder pads. He extends the hands, and he's got great hands.
And he's running off the defenders. If you could see his route running, he runs that's a little out pattern. He runs it, and he runs his defender off so much that he's wide open.
3rd down and 2 now for the Greyhounds. Double wide out left, single wide out right. That's where Horn is. Thunderbolts show blitz off the edge. Barthel sees it, now changes the play call.
Higgins isn't sure what they called.
Takes the snap, straight drop back. Now looks right. That's a lateral out in the flat. And this is going to be short of the first down. He just kind of flipped it backwards over there to Walker. Tried to get up the sideline. He made one move, made one man miss, but then the posse came over and just shellacked him. About a yard loss on the play. It'll be 4th down, and Uindy will have to punt the football away.
That's what I wanted what John Riston wanted to see today. He said, before the game, he said, I want to see us play fast all game long at a high level. And that was gang tackling at its finest.
And it was great coverage down the field. Barthel had nowhere to go for it. He finally just had to go to the safety valve. Okay, we'll go to Paul here after this play. 1st and 10. Thunderbolt's going to run the reverse. Here comes Duncan around the right side. They've got it snipped out, but he turns the corner, and now he's hauled down and thrown down onto the sideline. Paul, what do you got for us?
Right now, I don't know if most of you are noticing that A.J. Thompson is not in the game right now. That is just, he rolled his ankle earlier on that last series, but he's just getting his ankle taped up. He should be back in the game.
All right, thanks, Paul.
I just look for wherever number 18 is.
Yeah, he's in the slot on the left.
Zach Young has him. With a little over-the-top help from LaRon Tarkenton.
Yeah, he's kind of edging over that way, isn't he? Probably see a linebacker creep over that way, too. Rosenbrock in the game. Here's the snap. Barthel looks left. They got pressure on him. Here he hit him. Ball is deflected. Almost intercepted. Speaking of Rosenbrock, he had his hands on it, juggled it, and then dropped it. Oh, he was thinking about the touchdown there. Rosie.
That's as good a defensive series as Csu-Pueblo's played this entire game.
So, punt formation. Now, Duncan, he stands only about 35 yards deep. That's the difference. He's not allowing the ball to bounce here today. Low snap. Punt is handled. Duncan's going to have a chance. He's going to catch it at the 45. Nice cut. 50, 45, 40. Burst of speed. 35. Inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line. Kieran Duncan, he's frustrated. He looks to the heavens there. He wanted to take it for a touchdown, but mission accomplished. Great field position for the Thunderbolts. A chance to put a dagger in him right here.
This could be the defining drive of the game to where you just say, we're done.
Ball just inside the left hash mark. Radaball the holder. Ludwig's back, the long snapper on the short kicks. Here's the ball down. Kick is up plenty of leg. And it is good. Boy, that was one of the best-looking kicks all year from Greg O'Donnell right there. 11:02 to go here in the fourth quarter. Thunder will stretch it out. They lead it 27-7 on Fox Sports Pueblo. 3rd and 9 for the Greyhounds. Trips to the left. Barthel takes the snap. Here comes the push up the middle. Had to get rid of it, and it's incomplete. Morgan Fox flying off the edge. He might have got a piece of that ball as that pass kind of fluttered short, and Walker couldn't get his hands on it. They've been going with this triple tight end set. Now Radaball in the game. He's going to come out wide to the left, more or less in a slot to the left. Now Thompson shifting. Now all the tight ends shift to the right. They give you a lot of different looks. From the gun, Thompson takes the snap. 3-step drop, looks left, and it's intercepted. Or dropped. Did he hold on to it? Yes, he did. Ball picked off.
Number 47,
Rob Dury on the interception.
He jumped the route.
They were trying to get it. It wouldn't have been a first down anyway. I don't think it would have been right at the sticks where they were trying to get it to Bernard on a little out pattern, back out of the backfield. And now, well, we mentioned that's the one thing that could kill you here late in this game. Thunder will start to get some turnovers. That's one of those situations. The punt's not a bad deal. You you flip the field again and make them go the distance. Now you get it to them in plus territory at the 46-yard line. We haven't talked to Paul in a while. Paul, let's just get your feeling on what's happening in this ball game. Bringing back some memories for you, I'm sure, down there on the sideline.
Definitely is. There's a lot of smiles on the Csu-Pueblo sideline right now, and this is the type of game that they love to be in. And I remember me playing in games like this. It's very high intensity. High intensity is a great word, and guys are just ready to go.
All right, we'll keep you up here for a second here. They're going to hand it off on the left side. Bernard, nice move across the 25, 30, 35, out to about the 37-yard line. What's your feelings today about Bernard? His stamina running this ball game, probably the most carries he's had in the ball game.
Definitely. Bernard McDonald, he's going to be the future of this Csu-Pueblo run game. And, Pueblo is not foreign to having running backs, with Jesse Lewis, J.B. Matthews, Chris Ash, Cameron McDonald, and the list goes on. We've always had good running backs, and he is the next up, and he's been doing a great job on carrying the load.
All right, Paul. Great work down there on the sideline today. Once again, Paul Browning adding to our broadcast today. Here's a look over right side. Ball deflected, and is it picked off or is it loose? They might say this is a fumble. No signal as of yet, and it was intercepted. Ball picked off by Uindy. So Thunderwolves a little loose here in the last 7 or 8 minutes of this ball game, turning the ball over as they tried to throw a little quick out pattern on the right side. And the ball was deflected and then picked off. So Uindy now with a chance with 2:56 to go here in the fourth quarter. They're at the Thunderwolves' 35-yard line. Pass down the middle, caught inside the 10, down to about the 7-yard line. There we go. Had a power hit of some kind here in the booth. If you missed that play, I'm not sure if we were on or not. They hit a pass up the right side, down inside the 10, all the way to the 4-yard line. And quarterback sneak by Barthel. Looks like he's in. No signal as of yet. Now they do give the touchdown signal. So Barthel into the end zone, so they take advantage of the turnover.
Quarterback keeper, number 14, Connor Barthel.
And it's 27-13 in favor of the Thunderwolves. So now we'll get the extra point. Then it'll be onside kick time for the Greyhounds. So they take quick advantage of the turnover. One of their linemen lost his lid here, Jordan Beeden. He'll have to come out of the ball game. He probably doesn't play special teams anyway. They bring a different crew out to kick the ball away here. So it'll be Brad Schickel and to try the extra point. Barthel is the holder. Good snap. Ball's down. Kick is up. And it is good. 2:07 to go here in the fourth quarter. 27-14. Thunderwolves on top. Onside kick coming up on Fox Sports Pueblo. Onside kick coming up. Paul Browning has joined us in the booth. Joe Cervi's going to have the post-game interview with Hunter Hughes. Paul used to play on the hands team. It's kind of a scary moment, isn't it?
I like to think it's a scary moment for guys who really can't catch. So,
exactly.
But if you got some good hands, you're in a good place.
And the ball grabbed, and then you take a big shot. But the Thunder will secure it at the 46-yard line, so they'll take over. Joseph Jones there grabbed the ball. You want a big physical safety grabbing the ball. He can take a hit. He can dish a hit out from time to time.
He dropped a pick early in the game. I bet the guys on the sideline are going to give him a little hard time for that one.
Well, at that moment of the ball game, I kind of mentioned on the air, I thought, wow, you hope that never comes back to haunt you. And when you have a chance to make a play, you feel like you got to make a play in this situation.
Right, and his chance came once again to make the play, and he was able to make the play on the hands team.
So the Thunderwolves now, Uindy has their 3 timeouts left, so you can't go into victory formation yet. So you still got to play the game here. Thompson up under center. And he'll hand it off to Bernard off the left side. Tries to bounce it outside. Little move there, a little shake and bake. And he's hauled down at the 42-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. See if Uindy takes their timeouts here. You kind of wonder. At the end of the first half, they didn't use their timeouts. Kind of perplexing they're not taking them here.
Yeah, I had a question of time management coming from Uindy on that at the end of the game. But, with this one being wrapped up here, they're probably just going to let it run.
And we're down to 1:35 to go. Well, Thunderbolt's definitely up against it now, Paul. You look at their injury problems with this ballgame, the way it's shaken out here. We'll run this play here, and we'll get your thoughts on that. This is exactly what the Thunderbolts are going to have to do going on the road next week. Double tight end set here. Thompson under center, runs the draw play. And Bernard on the right side kind of jogs it to the edge. Now bursts into the clear. Across the 30, 25, 20, up the sideline and runs out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. A little slow developing there, but once he gets it into high gear in a hurry.
He's really good at being patient with his runs, and I think that's something that Riston really preached on earlier this year about how good Bernard has become. He's much more patient with his runs, and you've seen it on that one, and he's able to put the bursts on at the last minute.
Well, I guess the most valuable player this week might be the trainer as this week goes on to see if they can get ready for Midwestern.
Yeah, with all the injuries, I think definitely the way Pueblo has always been able to run and always been able to work things is the next man up mentality, and they're going to have to put it in high gear next week.
And now we've got a whistle, and the Thunderwolves probably going to have to take a timeout. They changed a lot of personnel. Well, they're going to take a delay of game penalty. So no timeout taken. We'll keep it right here. Fred Dort back in the ball game. You almost feel like you could go into victory formation here, but you're not sure if Uindy's going to. They got those 3 timeouts in their hip pocket, but they didn't choose to use them earlier. Now it looks like the Thunderwolves are going to go into victory formation as they got Duncan back there. The best formation in football, right, Paul?
Automatically.
And there's one time for A.J. Thompson. He'll hand the ball to the referee. And we'll do it one more time. The Thunderwolves can get up on out of here.
But when it comes to Cameron McDonald and him not being in this game, I wouldn't be too caught up if you're a fan for Pueblo. You know, he is dealing with a high ankle sprain. It's something that he's going to have to work through the whole postseason. It's something that's going to happen. But he should be able to fight through that, and we should be able to see him during this playoff run.
And A.J. takes the knee one final time, and that will do it. Final score from the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolts win it 27-14. Stay tuned for our post-game show. It all comes your way next on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back to the Nita and Eddie DeRose Thunderbolt. Thunderwolves win the ball game 27-14. And down on the field we have Joe Cervi, and he has Hunter Hughes.
All right, defensive coordinator Hunter Hughes. You know, at this time of year, it's survive and advance. Team you knew was going to come in with a solid quarterback, didn't turn the ball over yet. Your defense, 2 turnovers, touchdowns after those turnovers. Talk about the win.
I think that was important to take them out of their game. They haven't had a lot of turnovers, only 5 on the year, and we were able to get 2 today. And then the offense was able to convert them to points. And, you know, they've got a stingy defense. Again, they're very well coached. They do things the right way. And we knew it wasn't going to be easy. It was going to be a struggle, and we would have to make some plays defensively to put our offense in a better position.
Your defense has been opportunistic for 8 years now. Is that a challenge coming into a team like that doesn't turn the ball over? 5 turnovers on the year against a team like this?
Let's just say we discussed it throughout the week more than once. It was brought up that this team doesn't turn the ball over. So, you know, we tell our guys to arrive with violent intentions, get the ball out when they tackle, and when the ball's in the air, it's just as much ours as it is anybody else's. So
you got guys coming back from injuries, guys playing a little bit dinged up. Talk a little bit about the play of Brandon Payer today.
Well, Joe Rosenbrock's still a little hurt, but Brandon Payer is coming into his own. He's really, I can't say he struggled mentally at first with the defense's on. Now he's a lot more comfortable, and you can see that. You can see him out there playing fast. He's not thinking, doesn't have to think anymore, just reacts. And, he's doing kind of what we thought he would do when we recruited him. It just took a little more time. And now that he understands it and he's getting it, it's fun to watch him play.
And then a kid named Morgan Fox, school's all-time sack leader after today, kind of was in the backfield all day, didn't get to him but one time, but his presence was felt.
Everybody is sliding their protection to them, double teaming him, doing everything they can to make it difficult on that guy. and he just keeps persisting. And I'm glad he got the record. I'm glad I'm glad it's over with. And so now he can the weight's lifted off his shoulders, and and I want him to have that. I want guys to go for individual goals, and that's a heck of an individual goal for him to have. But I don't want him to sacrifice that for a team, and he's never done that. He's always been we call him 3 and outs because it's not a sack, it's a 3 and out, and he's done a great job of putting team first and individual second, and that's why I appreciate it, and that's why you want to do things and try to help him be successful in that aspect.
And one quick thought, ready to Thanksgiving in Texas.
Well, I told the guys at halftime, if we win, you got to spend Thanksgiving with me. I didn't get the reception I was hoping I'd get, but the good news is we won. The bad news is I'm going to be at the table Thanksgiving dinner. So,
all right, congratulations. Go enjoy the win.
Thank you.
All right, Jim, Paul, back upstairs.
All right, thanks a lot, Joe. Great job, and always good to hear from Hunter Hughes. We don't get to do that often enough. And Paul, one thing that struck me: people hear that phrase, playing fast in a football game. People think, well, running around like crazy. It's not what it is. It's learning to come to the speed of the ball game. Talk about that.
Yeah, and a lot of times it also has to do mentally. You can play fast when you mentally know what's going on, when you know your assignments, you know your adjustments. Then you can go and be loose and be free and run. Guys don't play fast when they don't know what they're doing because they're thinking too much. A guy's not going to run a full speed route if he doesn't know exactly what he's supposed to run. So it's the number one thing is always mentally knowing what you're doing when it comes to playing fast.
All right, we'll come back after this timeout. We'll have today's highlights. Tony Wright and Nate Baptist have been compiling those all day long. We'll do those right after this timeout. Thunderbolts win the ball game 27-14 on Fox Sports Pueblo. We'll bring in Paul Browning here one final time and get his thoughts on it. Paul, I guess, as they always say, they don't draw pictures of the ball game. They just look at the score, and you win it 27-14. And sometimes the way the ball game goes dictates the way you play the game. Thunderwolves had the lead. The job at hand was to get out of here with a win. You're not worried about style points, are you?
Yeah, not at all. You get the victory, and you're happy to move on another week. This is the playoffs. At the same time, you'd like to see Pueblo do much better. They go into halftime with a very large lead, be able to continue to add to that lead. But, it's late in the game, and, guys are starting to get tired. And, they had little mistakes. They turned the ball over a couple of times in the second half. But, overall, it was a very convincing win, and Pueblo deserves to be here, and Pueblo is trying to put their stake in for another national championship.
All right, Paul, enjoyed it. Did a great job today. Thanks for adding to our broadcast, buddy.
Thanks, Jim, and, maybe I come around again. Who knows?
All right, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving
to
you.
Paul Browning. Tony Wright, he started the day as our producer and engineer before moving on over to Dutch Clark Stadium to call that ball game. Nate Baptist picked up the baton. He's been our producer and engineer the rest of the afternoon. Special thanks, of course, to the assistant athletic director in charge of media relations for University of Indianapolis is Ryan Thorpe. We thank him for all of his work. Dax Larson, sports information director here at Csu-Pueblo. Joe Folda is the athletic director, and of course, special thanks to John Riston, and today to Hunter Hughes for providing us with our post-game interview. Paul Browning, we had him down on the sidelines, and then here late up in the booth. We thank Paul for his work for us today. Of course, my partner for the last how many ever years, Joe Cervi, my work wife, as we call him, Paul. But we thank Joe, and he'll read his stories all week long and read his final wrap-up tomorrow in the Pueblo Chieftain as well on Thunderwolves Athletics. Thunderwolves basketball, the women are in action tonight. I think they're in action right now, as a matter of fact, and in action tomorrow. You can follow the Go Thunderwolves site to keep track of them. The men will be in action on Tuesday night. Unfortunately, no radio there. Then they'll be down in Texas as well next week. Our next Thunderwolves basketball action will be sometime in December. We just don't know when. It might not be till January. You never know with what the Thunderwolves football team is doing. For everybody involved with Thunderwolves Athletics and with our Thunderwolves broadcast, this is Jim Brooks reminding you of the final score here today from the Thunderbowl. Thunderwolves win it 27-14. Until we talk to you Wednesday night from Andy Max, this is Jim Brooks bidding you good afternoon, everybody.
This has been Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350. Catch all the action all season long right here on the home for all things Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves athletics. Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.